Hi, this is James, and welcome back to Storytime with James. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. And hit me on the Cash App. Hit me on the Cash App to donate mask, acrylic paint, masking tape, and paint brushes. Unfortunately, the paint brushes and the masking tape and stuff is in the car. I had a class today. All right. All right. Today's subject is on 2020, the year 2020. 2020, okay, in Spanish. Okay. 2020 was a crazy year, for me at least, and probably for countless others. And 2020 was the year of the virus, like January and February of 2020 was I had a lot of classes booked up. Mask and Tape Treasures were going wild, okay? It was going wild. I was booked up to the hilt with classes, with appearances, and everything. And I had stuff I had to sell. It was off the chain. It was off the chain. This was in the beginning of 2020. And then my sister got sick. She got real sick. And I went over. She was laid up. She was laying on the couch, actually. And I said, what's the matter? She said, I think I got the flu or something. I'm just weak and everything was wrong with her. So I was telling her, I said, hey, drink plenty of fluids and take your vitamins. And, I was telling her little things to do. So I was getting ready for June. I was getting ready for June because in June, that's when everything was going to blow up. Okay. Especially with the Mask and Tape Treasures. So I had a lot of stuff lined up and I had a couple of them out of town, you know. So I had to fly out of town to do these, okay? So, man, it was booked up. But then all of a sudden they had a lockdown. A lockdown. So I said, what's going on here? And then I started hearing about the C virus, I kept hearing about the C virus. So I said, man, I better study this a little bit. But then I got sick. Myself. I got sick. I had flu-like symptoms. So, it was over in about 3 days. I've got a strong immune system. Because if it was COVID or whatever, it was gone in 3 days. In 3 days, I was able to function, able to walk, go to work, and everything. So then they locked down because of the C virus. Okay, when they locked down, I was happy at first. I was happy, but I think they had an option that you can work online or something like that, or they had other things that you can do if you want to, or you can just wait it out. I chose to wait it out. That's when I really didn't want to work that much. I said, forget it. I'm not working. So I didn't go. What did I do that for? Then all of a sudden I started getting calls that my classes were canceled. They called me one class, hey, it's canceled due to the C virus. It's canceled due to the C virus. Huh? It's canceled due to the C virus. So I was like, oh my goodness, they're canceling all my classes. Just because of this virus that's going to be gone in a few minutes anyway. So So I waited, and then there was a storm. There was a storm. A storm came through, and it had straight line winds. Okay, straight line winds is what they call when the wind blowing sideways. That's just for Memphis. They experienced it, the straight line winds, back in 97 or something like that, 98. So after that, the tree, a tree that was in my front, and I loved it, that tree. I loved that tree. It was a big tree in my front, and it had excellent shade, and it had these beautiful branches on there, and the wind blew it down, and it fell against my house and against my power lines. So it tore the meter off the meter off the wall and everything. So, oh my God. I had just came in the house too. I just parked my car and came in when the storm was getting ready to happen. So I came in the house and I was in my bedroom, and I had the television on with the news on. So I was looking at the television. I turned around for a second, and then I heard something. I heard a, crash, and I looked out my window, and I didn't see nothing but branches. Nothing but branches. And then the power was out. Power went out. And I was scared to go up front. I said, oh my God, the tree done fell. I knew it immediately. I went out the front door and looked, but it was raining so bad that I couldn't get out there to it. And the tree had fell on my car, on top of my car. And I said, oh my goodness. But I didn't panic. I didn't panic. I was calm. So I figured I'd wait it out and see, can I bag my car out? It wasn't nothing happening, Captain. Wasn't nothing happening. So I couldn't bag the car out because the tree had squashed it down. So I thought the car was demolished, okay? I was thinking about getting another car after that. So finally it subsided. The storm subsided. And I came out to assess the damage, I looked at my car. The windshield was kind of crushed in. And there was a big branch that came down and was hitting the ground. So that was actually holding the tree up from going all the way on my car. So it smashed my car down. The shocks were, the shocks went down. The shocks went down, but the car was okay. So the only thing that was broke was my windshield. So I said, the only thing broke is the windshield. I've got to see, can I get it out of there? So I went to work trying to cut some of the branches off so I can bag the car out, but I couldn't do it. So the next morning, that's when I got up and we went to Home Depot to get another saw. And I had my saw. I had to get another saw. So I got that and then started cutting. And then when I stepped back something said, brrr, and I said, what is that? And then I started walking back. I was in the bushes of the tree then. So I walked back a little bit further, and then something, and smoke came up. And I jumped in the air. When it popped that second time, I jumped in the air onto the tree. And then I crawled along the tree and then got out of there. I didn't know it was a live wire down there. So it was a live wire. So therefore, I had to call MLG&W, the power company, to come out to disable that because, man, I was like, man, this is just a live wire down here. So finally they came and shut the power off. Then I can get up in there and, oh, excuse me. I can get up in there and cut it, you know. So I had my saw. And I had a couple of people come try to help, you know, do the best they can. But for the most part, it was me. I was doing everything. Matter of fact, I worked for 3 days straight. Coming out, cutting until dark. I was so sore. My back, my arms, everything. But it had to be done. I cut that tree down, cut it up in chunks, and I'm telling you, it was big, big, big chunks of tree. But I had to cut it with the saw, and so it took me a long time to cut through. But I cut through. Then I was able to back my car out. And I thought my front end and everything was going to be messed up, you know. But it wasn't. Ironically, it wasn't. It wasn't messed up. The only thing that was messed up was the windshield. So once I got it out, I had to drive it over to to a window shop and let them put it in. So they put me a windshield in, and everything was good, you know. But when I went for 4 days without power in my house. And that was a hard time. It was a very hard time. Like I had forgot that the gas still works, you know. So you can light your stove. I had a gas stove. I was glad I had got rid of that electric stove for the gas stove, because you can light it with a match. You can strike a match and then turn the gas on and boom, you know. So, but until then, I was going out getting food. And see, I don't like going out getting food. I like cooking food from home, you know. So, but I thought I wasn't thinking about the gas is still on. So I was going to places, getting little stuff, going to the Subway. Yeah, going to Subway, getting food and stuff like that. Getting sodas and orange juice and stuff. Man, it's crazy. So, finally, I got tired of trying to keep powering my phone up, my laptop, my tablet, and everything. So I was going to my sister's house, charging everything up to the max, then coming home, you know. But I think it was something wrong with my phone at that time. So my phone would drain the battery quick. So, and then I would use the laptop to charge it, you know. So after I finally got the tree cut into pieces and put all those branches and everything at the curve so the garbage man can pick it up. Okay, the sanitation can come pick it up. But still, I had to fix the meter. So I had to put the meter back on the wall, and then that long pole that's on the roof with the wires going through it, I had to install that. And then, well, I ain't gonna go no further with that. Anyway, I installed that, and then the light company came out and they turned my power back on, which was a glorious day. But we still wasn't going to work yet. Matter of fact, it was still a couple of more months we was off, you know. So we was out, and I just was watching the news. Then they said it's okay for you to go to work, but you had to have your mask on at all times, you know. So we went in there, had our mask on, and we didn't do nothing that whole day. It was beautiful. And then it continued. So it was just mask on, mask on, mask on. It was to the point I didn't like going outside because you had to have your mask on. You know. Then that's when they had the virus shot. But it wasn't until that next year that I got the shot. But then around the end of 2020, that's when I first met my wife. Now, I just met my wife, you know. So, in 2020, you was online and talking to people, just online, you know. It wasn't going out to talk to people no more. It was online. But I met my wife then. So, and we hit it off. And then that was the beginning of everything. Then it's the beginning of everything. But 2020 was a tragic time, especially because my sister could have died. She could have died. But through the grace of God, I guess it was just, since she wasn't thinking that it was a life-threatening thing that was happening, she thought it was the flu. So that's it. And man, maybe me too. Yeah, because I was really, really sick. Really sick. To the point I couldn't go to work. When I don't go to work, I am sick. So yeah, I met my wife, and then we started dating. Then in 2021, we announced our engagement. Then in 2022, we got married. All right. Then in 2022, little June was born. So everything was just moving forward. Moving forward. But thank God we don't have to wear the mask like we was. Because the mask was terrible.
Uh-oh.
I don't care. You had lines on your face, and I just didn't like them. I didn't like it. But I wore them though. I wore my mask. I wore my mask. But I didn't like it. Even if it was them little funny, goofy masks. They had funny stuff wrote on there. They had teeth on there and stuff like that. Man, I don't care about that stuff. But it was cool though. But we had to endure it for a year. Oh. But thank God everybody made it through all right. Some people didn't make it through. Yeah. And as soon as the vaccination became available, I went out and got it. I don't care. So if you do it, that's cool. If you don't, see this lady that stayed near my job didn't take the COVID shot. She was against it. Actually, she protested against it and stuff, and she died of COVID. That was right when I was getting my shots, but she was totally against it, and she died tragically. You see, several other people they perished because they didn't take the shot. So hey, me, I took it. True, and I took the booster shot too. Got the booster. and got the other booster. So and that was it then. No more. You know. But all right, y'all. Thanks for viewing my masking tape treasures for 2020. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. And hit that bell notification. Hit that bell notification so that you know every time I drop another video. And share, share, share. Share my videos with everyone so everyone can get this experience. Okay? That's all I ask of you. And subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Subscribe to my videos, okay? Please subscribe. Peace. Adios. Salamat. Chair dance.
Oh my god.